Ancient Asia was once home to thriving black populations. Their presence reflected in early Chinese literature and legends. Black deities, emperors, warriors, and goddesses were revered and even venerated as ancestors in various Asian traditions. While Western academia often attempts to reframe these figures as enslaved individuals, Chinese historical records largely reject the notion of slavery in their early societies. Instead, they suggest the existence of ancient African settlements in Asia, with some evidence pointing to the region's earliest inhabitants being of Negro descent. Early Chinese legends relate traditions of divine dynasties, such as the Epoch of the Five Emperors. According to J.A. Rogers, the first Chinese emperor, known as Fuxi, is described as a woolly-haired Negro. Whether this was actually the case with this semi-legendary figure, we do not know, but the existence of black types in the region since the most remote times is known. There is evidence of substantial populations of blacks in early China. Archaeological studies have located a black substrum in the earliest periods of Chinese history, and reports of major kingdom ruled by blacks are frequently in Chinese documents. According to ancient myths, black people once lived in Taiwan. In remembrance, they hold festivals called the Pas-Tai Festival. It is held as a tribute to the little black people, or dwarfs, who are venerated as ancestral spirits in Taiwan. For the past 100 years or so, the Saisiat tribe, Saisiazu, has performed the songs and rites of the festival to bring good harvests, ward off bad luck, and keep alive the spirit of a race of people who are said to have preceded all others in Taiwan. In fact, the short black men the festival celebrates are one of the most ancient types of modern humans on this planet, and their descendants somewhat still survive in Asia today. They are said to be diminutive Africoids and are variously called pygmies, negritos, and eta. They are found in the Philippines, northern Malaysia, Thailand, Sumatra, in Indonesia, and other places. At least 4 groups tell stories of intermarrying with the so-called little black people, and one group, the Saisiat, continue to hold ceremonies in honor of those they call the Ta'ai, who they consider their teachers. According to Chinese archaeologist Guangqi Cheng, early skulls found in southern China bore evidence of oceanic Negroid types. He goes on to state that as early as 221 BC, negritos, whom the Chinese call black dwarfs, are reported in the mountainous districts south of the Yangtze. Pictured above is a Shang dynasty drinking vessel made of bronze with an Africoid-type figure in a tiger's mouth. It appears to be the birth of a black man or a symbolic union with the tiger. In some regional Chinese myths, there are stories of mysterious dark-skinned warriors or sages who tamed or befriended tigers. These tales often symbolize strength, wisdom, and harmony with nature. Some Chinese aristocratic clans trace their origins to mythical ancestors born from unions between humans and sacred beasts, including tigers. In certain versions, a powerful dark-skinned figure, sometimes interpreted as a foreign warrior or an ancient deity, is said to have tamed a tiger, marking his divine or heroic nature. There were many black-skinned heroes in ancient Asia. In China, Baozheng was regarded as the embodiment of justice and was called the blue sky by the common people. For thousands of years, there have been countless literary works praising him. He is regarded as the most famous black man in Chinese history, especially among the Song dynasty period. The presence of black people in ancient Asia, though often minimized or overlooked, is preserved through myths, legends, and early literature that speak of their influence and legacy. While their physical population is no longer widespread in many parts of Asia, their memory endures.
There are several different major groups that make up these regions. One is the Negritos, a broad term that encompasses many of the native short-statured black peoples that are descended from the original African inhabitants of Sundaland. Some of these groups include the Onge, or the Andaman Islanders, the Aeta, and the Batak. These dark-skinned groups are often referred to as Orang Asli, or original peoples, by the lighter-skinned Mongoloid peoples that migrated into these regions during the late Neolithic. These groups also include indigenous Australians, referred to in modern day as Australian Aborigines, as well as the various groups of Papua New Guinea, such as the people of Bougainville, or the native Melanesian peoples of the Solomon Islands. These people are the descendants of the original African inhabitants of Sundaland and Sahul over 80,000 years ago.